Bit of a bombshell today. I was just pegging up my leggings when Mr. Sudbury says, "I'm afraid, Miss Fozzard, this is going to have to be our last encounter. Apparently this latest burglary's put the tin hat on things. And what with Mrs. Sudbury's mother finally going into her home and their TV reception always being so poor, there's not much to keep them in Leeds, so they've made a bolt for it. And they're heading off to Scarborough. Added to which, Tina, their chow, has a touch of arthritis, so the sands may help. And the upshot of it all is that they've gone in for a little semi near Piers' home flat." "But," Mr. Sudbury said, "none of this is of any consequence. What is important, Miss Fozzard, is what are we going to do about your feet? You've been coming to me so long, I don't like to think of your feet falling into the wrong hands." I said, "Well, Mr. Sudbury, I should count myself very lucky if I find someone as accomplished as yourself, and if I may say so, with your sense of humour. Because it's very seldom we have a session in which laughter doesn't feature somewhere." "Well, Miss Fozzard," he said, "chiropody is a small world, and I've taken the liberties of making a few phone calls. And I've come up with two possibilities. One is for a young lady over in Roundhouse, who I understand is very reliable." "A woman," I said, "in chiropody? Isn't that unusual?" "No, not nowadays," he said. "The barriers in chiropody have been coming down as in everything else. It's progress, Miss Fozzard. The march of. And Cindy Bickleton has her own salon." I said, "Cindy? That doesn't inspire confidence. She sounds as though she should be painting nails, not cutting them." "Well," he said, "in that case, the alternative might be more up your street. I don't know him personally, but Mr. Dunderdown has all the right letters after his name, and he's actually retired. He still likes to take on a few selective clients to keep his hands in. However, he lives out at Lawnswood, and if I'm not mistaken, you're not motorised." I said, "No problem, I'll get the 17, it's a bus I like." "No, if it's all the same to you and the Equal Opportunity Board, I'll opt for Mr. Dunderdown." He said, "I think that's a wise decision. Allow me," and he winked. "Allow me," he said, "to shake hands with your feet." Oh. I've been going to Mr. Sudbury for years. It's a kind of investment. Particularly if you're like me, you go in for slim-fitting cork shoes. Squeeze, squeeze. Mr. Sudbury reads the riot act, of course. But, as he said, it's a free country, Miss Fozzard. If you're going to open the doors of a lifetime of hard skin, I can't do anything to stop you. Now, what view this Mr. Dunderdown will take remains to be seen. When I get back, Miss Beaver has her hat and coat on. Can't wait to get off. Says Bernard's been propped up in the chair, staring at the TV all evening. She helps me take him upstairs, and then I sit by the bed, as per recovery programme, and give him a rundown on my day. Mr. Clarkson Hall, down in the unit, says that when someone's had a cerebral accident, in lay terms, a stroke, Miss Fozzard, one must take care not to treat them like a child. And if your brother is to recover his faculties, dear lady, The more language one throws at him, the better. So I'm just recounting the conversation with Mr. Sudbury and how they're decamping to Scarborough, when Bernard suddenly throws back his head and yawns. I rang Mr. Clarkson Hall this morning. He said that's progress. I do miss work.